Hey guys, my name is Amanda. I'm here to let you know that you need people in your life. You need friends, you need family, you need community. And also, you need to stop isolating yourself when you feel lonely. When you feel lonely, I can guarantee if you reach out to your friends, they probably feel very similar to you. And misery loves company. I mean, it does. So when someone can relate to how you're feeling, it makes you feel better. It makes you realize that you are not alone and that we are a collective. We are all one that will feel everything. And just because they're not going through the exact same situation that you may be going through, there's still compassion and understanding through all types of situations that everyone's going through. So, let's see. I have not had a good track run with friends whatsoever. I have had friendships that have felt very one-sided. I have had friendships with blurred lines, lack of communication, and just an overall lack of respect, loyalty, and trust. So, I think it's hard for me to fully talk on this subject because I haven't really been able to maintain many friendships, but I've also changed and grown a lot. And during that process, you tend to lose people. They're going another way, you're growing another way, and you're going this way. You're not going that way. You're gonna lose touch. Totally fine, totally okay. Let's talk about how to gain new friends. It's really hard to make new friends because usually you're not going to meet somebody in the grocery store and become best friends. So, some good ways that I have learned how to make friends is by, honestly, YouTube and TikTok. I watch these people once or twice a week, and I consider them my friends. They're my community. They talk about subjects that either I'm passionate about or expand my knowledge and my thinking and my way of life. If I don't have a certain friend group in person, then I can have that friend group online, and we have the luxury of literally seeing any type of content that we want. So it's not hard to have friendships online. And this doesn't mean I'm talking to these people, it just means I'm watching their content, I'm commenting, and that's that. And that gives me my sense of social interaction. Another good way to meet people and make friends is you do have to be bold. If you're out and you like someone's outfit, tell them. If you see somebody that you think would be a cool friend, introduce yourself. And I know this is going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be hard, it's going to be awkward. You just have to do it. You literally just have to do it. And you do it scared. I do everything scared. And this is my number one thing that I tell people is that whatever you want to do, it's probably going to be scary, but you just have to do it, and you have to do it scared. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be able to do scary things. The more that your level of fear is going to go from this to all the way up to this. And then you're going to realize, oh, I'm unstoppable. I can literally do anything I want. And using fear really for your benefit is going to take you anywhere and everywhere in life. Another way to meet people is by joining groups or classes of hobbies that you enjoy. I take a lot of yoga classes, pole classes, fitness classes, and I haven't met anyone that we became best friends we even hang out or have drinks or anything. But I have met people that I've done business with through my fitness classes. And also, if you're going to a class once or twice a week, you are automatically building up a connection and a relationship with these people. And you might just get little details about them, you know, here and there, and you might share just little details about you here and there. But you're growing that connection over time, and that is your community, you know. You're going to be seeing these people often, and, you know, once you're consistent enough, they're going to want to check in on you, and you're going to want to check in on them. And that kind of makes you keep coming back to these classes because it is your community. But it takes time. It really does, you know. It takes time. It takes persistence. It takes courage. Definitely takes courage. And also, I think we get in this mindset, I know I have, but we get into this mindset of, well, I can do everything by myself, you know. I'm independent, I take care of myself, I can go do my errands by myself, I can go to the movies, I can take myself out to dinner, blah, blah, blah. I get it, you're independent, okay? How fun is it, though? And that's not to say that you don't ever do things by yourself, because alone time is very valuable. And I love myself. I love hanging out with myself. But I know that I don't have to do everything by myself. And I can benefit from sharing these beautiful moments with other people as well. And it can be scary. Because when you invite these people into your life, then, you know, you may have to deal with drama or headaches and heartache. And that's just the name of the fucking game. That really is the name of the game. For me, heartache is always worth it, though. To experience love and joy and laughter with other people, even if it all comes in a burning flame, it is still worth it to me. I can't live my life being scared to get hurt, because regardless, I will get hurt. It's life. It is part of the human experience. I cannot experience these extreme highs if I do not experience these low lows. And at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be okay regardless, because I have myself always. And I think that is the key point to independence, is just knowing that you have yourself, knowing who you are, and strong in your core values and beliefs and morals. I don't think independence is just being numb to the world, being numb to having people in your life, you know, doing everything by yourself. That to me, it's not independence, it's more isolation. I'm talking to myself, guys, because I've isolated myself a lot. And I needed to, you know, I needed that time to know who I was and get to know myself and like myself. But it's not necessary to be alone all the time, at all. Alright, so how do we deepen our current relationships? And how do we build stronger bonds with the ones that are already in our life? Now, this can be very challenging if you are the only one that wants to deepen the connection and deepen the friendship. And some people just are not going to be able to meet you where you are at. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because as much as I wish I could hold people's hands and walk them through the fear of building trustworthy, loyal connections with them, I can't make someone change I can't make someone not scared. And, you know, sometimes you just leave people where they are at. And that's not to say you abandon or ghost them. It's just saying that you withdraw your energy and accept that this dynamic is as far as it's going to get, at least in this moment. Because, you know, I always leave room for hope and change for other people. And sometimes that, you know, that backfires on me. It's definitely backfired on me a few times. I think it's because I know that I am constantly changing and growing. So I allow that grace for other people. But sometimes people only change for the day. Sometimes their change isn't consistent, which is okay. You know, change is hard. Change is very much hard. But you cannot deepen a relationship if you're the only one that wants to. And like I said, you just gotta leave those people where they're at. If they want to come back around, they will. If not, okay, you're solid because you know you got yourself. Friendships, they can be abundant. Everything's abundant in this world, okay? Everything is abundant. And I cling on to people because for so long I have been in a lack mindset with friends, with partners, love, money, food, just the way I grew up, you know. I was constantly moving, constantly changing schools, you know, changing jobs. So I was always having to learn how to make new friends. But also, you know, these friendships weren't lasting that long because I was just constantly on the move. So I kind of got used to not maintaining friendships, but also just kind of a lack mindset of, you know, like I may make friends and I may not. And now that I am older, I have learned that I don't need to cling on to people as hard because I don't want to stay around anybody that doesn't want to stick around. And people are really confusing. People can be very, very confusing because why are you checking in on me on my social media constantly, but you don't want to have a conversation? Let me ask that again. Why are you the first people checking in on what I'm posting on social media consistently, but you can't have a conversation with me? You can't reach out. You can't say anything. It's confusing to me. And for a long time, I was hurt by it because I'm just like, it just wasn't making sense to me. But like I said, sometimes people just can't meet you where you're at. And they still want to see what you're doing, which is fine, I guess. It's weird to me, but whatever. So I have to let people go. It sucks. It sucks because I just feel like that's been my whole life, letting people go because I'm moving or whatever it may be. And I mean, I can honestly say anyone that has left my life, good riddance. I have no hard feelings. But there's no me wanting to console anything. Everyone that has left, you know, I hope you learn from our relationship as much as I learned. I hope. And if anyone's got anything negative to say about me, well, just know my conscience is clear. I've done a lot of self-reflection, a lot of asking myself hard questions, and I fully 100% feel confident in all of my past choices. All of them. I do not regret. I don't regret anything, honestly. Because I know I'm a good person. And losing me in your life, it's an L. It's an L. It's an L. And, you know, that might be my ego speaking. It's okay, though. I love my ego. My ego has gotten me everywhere I've ever wanted to go in life. I am not ashamed of my ego whatsoever. At all. All right. Let's see. So, what do you do with your friends that are constantly depressed? Constantly talking about the next world crisis, talking about the problems that they're not taking any steps towards. You know, how do you navigate that friendship? It's hard. I feel like everything's hard. Life is hard. I mean, it is hard. Or do we make it hard? I think we make it hard. I feel like most of my friends have mental illnesses. I mean, I have my own mental illness. But all throughout my life, all of my friends have been depressed, anxious, whatever. And I used to trauma bond with people, you know, with depression. Like, I remember I had one friend that all we would do is just talk about how much we wanted to die, talk about how miserable we were, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, now that I'm older, now that I am fully aware of my duty to myself to take proactive action to maintaining my mental health, I cannot be around people that are constantly down and in the dumps and the world's against them, blah, 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 blah. Because we're adults, okay? The world sucks. If you think about all of the shit that's happening in this world, it's going to make you a miserable person. And I'm not saying to not be educated in what's going on in the world. Maybe a little bit. But I am saying that with as much misery there is in the world, there is just as much, if not more, beauty. And it is your job to find that beauty, to experience that beauty, to share joy and laughter and love with other people. And you can't do that if you're constantly on the news, constantly being exposed to just the horrific things that happen day in, day out. There is no yin without yang. There is no yin without yang, and you cannot attribute anything to this world if you're stuck in its misery. At all. You can't. You're just going to be a part of the problem if you're stuck in its misery. You know, ignorance is bliss. That saying is a saying for a reason, just like all of those corny ass sayings. They hold truth, okay? Ignorance is bliss. You can't care about everything in this world. I've tried it. You can't care about everything. So my advice is pick what you care about, be passionate about it, you know, do what you can in that subject, you know, talk to other people that are passionate about other causes, educate yourself through them, but do not overwhelm yourself with all of the mishappenings in this world, because there is not anything you can do about everything that happens and goes wrong, okay? You just can't. So, you know, pick a few things that you care about, be proactive in that, and then find joy and peace and love in your everyday life and share it with your friends. And if you are going through a lonely season right now, it's okay. It is okay. I've been there. I have definitely been there. And I think that's partly why I started talking to a camera, because I felt like I didn't have anybody. I felt like my friends couldn't show up for me because they're just in their own bullshit, honestly. Where, you know, I want to support and be there and love my friends. I know I'm that person that usually will always answer a call or a text and listen to someone vent or cry or whatever it may be. Or just, you know, show up at their house and watch a movie with them if they just need somebody. I know I'm that person. And I don't think that's me overgiving or people pleasing whatsoever. I know that that is just me showing up for people the way I wish they would show up for me. Some people just can't do it. They, you know, they're still in that mindset of independence, isolation, and like I said, I can't change the way people think. I can't change their views or their hurt, you know? Like, I can't do that for them. All I can do is be an example and be the change I want to see in this world. So that is why I show up for people. Even when I'm even when I don't want to hear it, because I know it's just, I'm the type of person that when you vent to me, I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to think of a solution. And I know that's not always what somebody needs in the moment. I know sometimes they just need a vent and feel heard and whatever it may be. But when you come to me and you're venting and complaining about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, yeah, we're coming up with a solution, because you're not going to keep talking to me about this problem with no changed behavior. Nope. Nope. And my mom has told me that I'm hard on my friends. I might be, but that's also because I demand deep connections, you know? I know what I bring to the table. I know the loyalty that I bring to the table, the sincerity, the genuinity. I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not just gonna let people in my life that are surface level or feel like they need something or want something from me. It's gonna be a shared community table, okay? Let me see. Yeah. I think that's it. Let me see. Talking for 20 minutes. Yeah. I encourage you to be vulnerable. See where it gets you. Just because you're vulnerable doesn't mean someone else is going to be vulnerable with you. Being vulnerable is pretty scary, especially if you don't do it often. But you continue to show up as a vulnerable being, you're going to be met with vulnerable beings eventually. It's going to take some time. Trust me. It's going to take some time. And, you know, somebody that you were at a standstill a couple months ago, a couple years ago, whatever, they might come back in your life ready to be vulnerable. And I encourage you to allow that to happen. But also, if they've done you wrong once, they're going to do you wrong twice. So if it's like that type of situation, no. They did you wrong once, they're going to do you wrong twice. And I will put money on that. Put money on it. That might be me just talking out of my own heartbreaks. Friends have broken my heart many, many times. But, you know, every heartbreak that I have gone through has cracked my heart wide open. And now it's completely exposed to the world, and light shines out through it and light comes into it. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at heartbreak. Because it's true. My heart has never been more exposed. And it's beautiful. It really is. And I don't think it would be this exposed if I've never experienced all the heartache I have. For sure. For sure. Yep. Yeah, talking to the camera is still uncomfortable and awkward for me, but I'll only go up from here. I'll only get better. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, bye.